Welcome back to OU Nightly, everyone. It has been a crazy severe weather week for us here in Oklahoma, and right now we're currently looking at all of the severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning building up through central Oklahoma and pushing to the east. So all of these cells have been intensifying from the fuel we've got in the atmosphere right now. It didn't go away after last night, so here's how it's tracking out at the moment. Tornado warning in place until 5:15 tonight for Henrietta, pushing up towards Okmulgee. That's one we're really looking at right now. It's radar indicated, but definitely probably some hail in there. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one and the rest of these cells as they build out. This one over by Chickasha we've been watching. It's looking to be pushing north of Norman, so we're not too worried about it at the moment, but it also looks like it is weakening for us right there. And then just these storms off towards Shawnee, all the way from Pauls Valley up towards Shawnee. That's another one of those stronger lines that's going to be pushing off to the east tonight. So this is really the big setup we've got going on. There's definitely some hail reports in there. We've seen pea-size hail this morning in Norman, but these ones could possibly produce up to golf ball and baseball size hail for us tonight. So the tornado watch is in place until 10 p.m. tonight. And again, with the tornado warning already in that region, we are expecting a few more to spin up as these storms move through. The threat pretty much goes all night long for us. Here's what the Storm Prediction Center has for us for these ratings. We are in the slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5 here for us in Norman, but the enhanced risk, it was over Norman a couple days ago, has pushed off to the east. So all of eastern Oklahoma, Miami, all the way down pretty much to Idabel, they are going to get the strongest of these storms. As we saw, they're already starting to push over to the east. Western Oklahoma still in a marginal risk. So everyone really has to keep their eyes out for all modes of severe weather tonight. Hail risk here in Norman, probably golf ball size max is what we're expecting, but as those storms keep pushing east, we are expecting them to get more intensified, which could bring some golf ball size hail pushing more towards that baseball size hail. But damaging winds as well, pretty much everywhere from Norman to the east, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts in these storms. So definitely very damaging. You're going to want to tie down anything you've got outside, some yard chairs or even just some plants, because if those storms move through your area, they're definitely going to be blowing around. And that is also part of this tornado risk we've got going on. It's on the low end here in Norman, so not zero. Not saying anyone's going to severely get a tornado tonight, but in all of these shaded regions, there is a chance. So definitely keep your eyes out and have a way to receive warnings as you go throughout tonight, because this is an ongoing threat until at least 7 p.m. for Norman, but it's going to be kicking out to the east, and it's going to last pretty much overnight. So here's how it's looking on Futurecast for us. These storms are going to continue to track off to the east. You can just see how thick this band is. It's going to really be affecting McAllister, Idabel. They're going to push off. This is until the overnight hours, but you see this line here, that could produce some severe thunderstorms as well. So if that pushes just a little bit off to the west, Norman could be impacted by those storms. We head into later this weekend, Saturday. I'm expecting a little bit more rain than this model is showing. So Norman, just keep your eyes out for this. You may need an umbrella for your weekend plans, but the good news is this is not necessarily a all-out washout for us, but we are getting some reports right now of a severe thunderstorm warning around Norman. So we're going to come back to that in just a little bit, but Sunday looking pretty dry for us. So that's some good news. However, as we go into this weekend, cold front comes through. That's why we're getting some of these storms. It's really going to be that fuel that lifts the atmosphere to produce some of these storms. But we're looking at Tuesday for another severe weather threat. That includes all of central Oklahoma pushing east. It's a 15% chance at this time, so a little far out to fully track. But I want to hit you guys with this weather call promo that we've got, where anyone in the country can receive severe weather warnings and alerts. So make sure you sign up for this. It'll give us back to OU Nightly Mets. I'll send it back to you guys at the desk. Welcome back to OU Nightly, everyone. Happy Friday. It has been a crazy week with wildfires across the entire state of Oklahoma, and I've got an update about where we're sitting right now. The Ranger Road fire has become 20% contained. It was 15 yesterday, so we have made some progress on that, but over 283,000 acres have burned with that fire. Stevens, well, we've got 60% contained right now, and the side road one as well, 75% contained. So we have made some progress on this, and the good news is conditions have become more favorable to decrease that fire weather. Taking a look outside right now, well, we've got pretty sunny skies. I mean, it's colder out there. I'm sure everyone's noticed that, with current temperatures sitting at 52 degrees right now here in Norman. The wind has decreased. However, dew point is still low, but since the air temperature is also lower, we have picked up in that relative humidity category. But heading out tomorrow, here's what you need to know. much cooler again. This is seasonable for this time of year here in Oklahoma. 52 is roughly an average for us. So we're right on the mark with that, but it is going to be cold if you're heading out the door tomorrow for some Saturday morning plans, and even the rest of the day, you're definitely going to need to layer up with that. But I'm sure lots of you have been struggling with these allergies. The dry weather, it didn't really just affect the fires, but the allergies as well. Trees are at that very high level today. Mold on the low side, but the cedar trees are really what's getting everybody. So just make sure you're taking your proper precautions. Everyone knows that that's what it gets to this time of year in Oklahoma, and the winds haven't really helped with that. We're going to decrease from the crazy wind gusts we saw the last couple of days. But heading into Saturday, still going to be upwards of 30 miles per hour. It's going to be out of the north, which has helped make those temperatures so much cooler. So we'll get a little bit of a decrease heading into your Saturday evening and Sunday. So that's some good news with that. More of that typical Oklahoma wind that we're used to this time of year and the rest of the season. But future wind chills are going to change as well with these cooler temperatures and the winds. So heading out the door tomorrow morning in the 20s for what it's going to feel like. Very chilly. Sunday, again, a similar story. With those winds, that's pretty much what happens every time we get those cold fronts to move through. So just keep that in mind. We'll get to warm up little bit by bit after this cold front moves through this weekend. But the rain outlook is not looking great. So we are still on the dry side, near normal, but we don't really get too much rain this time of year as well. So we're definitely going to look out for that because fire weather is expected to increase heading into later next week. Monday, we're at an elevated risk, but near critical for Tuesday here in Norman. So we are going to be forecasting that and keeping our eyes on it, because it could be a similar story all over again from this week to next week. As for your 7-day forecast, though, here we go. 50s, 50s, 50s. The sun will be peeking out, so that's some good news. When you feel the sun out, it feels a little bit better, but then temperatures warm back up heading into next week, which is also part of what makes that fire risk go up, guys. But as for now, you definitely do need the jacket out.
Yes, it sounds like a perfect night for movies.
Right, yes, stay inside, bundle up. It's that time of year where you get every season in the span of 2 weeks in Oklahoma. And what can you do?
I agree. Well, thank you.